King tides of war. Liz. Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be 10 for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kid it old man like chemo. Find your way back like Nemo. Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be toast like a bagel. You better repent for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kid it old man like chemo. Find your way home like Nemo.
Nemo swimming back home. Dodging sharks like Rome. Real deal, shallow wines, no silicone, shalom. Coming for the head of state, a dinner plate, wisdom shown to get ran through, no combs. I'll go to tide when I'm seeking through the fire, I'ma turn into chrome. When iron sharpens iron, I'm alive. My brotherly love, we gon' walk in the Zion. Not a particle, atom, a molecule, but I'm electrified just like an ion. For my avocado, hit the wickedness, I no piata. Am I lying? The chemo, no kuna matata. Judas trap through your shot, we on fire. Ain't talking the lighter, we united. When we gain in the soul, we get excited. If your spirit ain't right, you ain't invited. You get cited for lying on the righteous. Ain't divided, we standing together and fighting. No my types of biting, we ain't in the violence. But if you won't smoke, we defending our title and ain't getting slighted. We just trying to live right.
Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be toast like a bagel. You better repent for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kid it old man like chemo. Find your way back like Nemo. Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be toast like a bagel. You better repent for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kid it old man like chemo. Find your way home like Nemo. I hire my father, no I don't do Allah. We reading the Bible to hell with Kabbalah. Y'all throwing them stones, no I don't do collar. You know man of the cloth, you have been collared. I hire in heaven, that's the only father. We don't do Jehovah, we dive in that lava. This is one body, we don't do the folly. Be sober minded, we don't do the molly. Get you one wife, we don't do the poly. The righteous gon' party, no game to say sorry. Lying hearted like I'm on a safari. Dietary laws, no calamari. True talk, I don't do the malarkey. Eyes to see like iCarly. We down, no Bob Marley. Coming in light, coming in dark. Currently marked in like a shark. Ride for mine, no parking. Better proceed with caution. Vengeance the Lord's he often. Better repent before the coffin. So knowing like a dolphin. Be mindful of who you cross. Endure the exhaustion. Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be toast like a bagel. You better repent for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kid it old man like chemo. Find your way back like Nemo. Where you headed is fuego. You gonna be chillin' with a Zazel. You gonna be toast like a bagel. You better repent for the day go. We gotta come together like a Lego. Take a culture back like a Debo. Kill that old man like chemo. Find your way home like Nemo.
Georgia and nationwide. Are you ready? Last year was a sellout crowd with nearly 1,000 plus in attendance. And this year we're going bigger and better. Meet us at the goal line for the second annual Fringed Up Family Fest. Featuring some of your favorite artists like Paisley the Hebrew, Akanal, and we definitely can't forget Hezekiah.
Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne.
It all goes down Sunday, July 7th, with a weekend full of events. More live performances being added daily with a kids zone, clean food, prizes, games, and family fun. Purchase entry tickets, VIP tents, family packages, and vendor tables at 3mgmusic.com. July 7th, meet us at the goal line at the Fringed Up Family Fest. We outside.
Told me live right if I wanna live. I'm calling for Christ, but I don't know if it's gotta do right before Christ appears. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. I can't not hear, it's right in your ear. Don't care about the flesh, I care about the spirit. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. Demons gon' come in, but please not fear. He gon' be in my face, but you gotta smear. He gon' be in the way, but way. I'm chasing truth, I'm catching fly. I'm moving forward, ain't looking back. I keep on going, I'm attacked. We got next, we running that. Esau be the end of that. Under the rod, we going back. That's why we practice righteous acts. Says it's time, so we relax. Kingdom money, rats on rats. Still standing while the world collapse. Watch out for them booby traps. Tap into the Bible app. Stay away from worldly traps. You know that it will not last. Our highest word will come to pass. So you better pray and fast. Live right if I wanna live. I'm calling for Christ, but I don't know if it's gotta do right before Christ appears. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. I cannot hear, it's right in your ear. Don't care about the flesh, I care about the spirit. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. Demons gon' come in, but please not fear. He gon' be in with fish, but you gotta smear. He gon' be in the way, but you gotta clear. I'm praying to God, I hope he hears. Put the word away, the truth, my spirit. The devil is real, but I do not fear. Oh man, when it come, but I gotta kill it. I did it before, I gotta admit. We gotta live right, cause we're children. We gotta live right, that you already know. Keep blessing me from my head to my toe. Never gonna stop, so I'm always on go. Like heavenly water, you know I'm gon' flow. Keep the money, that's a whole lot of dough. Owe me dead, spend it out on the flow. World dark, but we still gotta glow. Judah, out your love, blessing the po. Friend of this world, then you are a foe. Gotta stay strong, not to and fro. Gotta endure if you a pro. Watch my back if you the bro. Turning up in that front row. Have my shame, keep that on low. Adversary ain't gotta know. End is near is at the door. Repent that change you gotta show. Knock demons down like domino. Rock the dust, your mama know. Flee from you is evil show. Train me if I'm good to go. Our highest word is good to know. So that light, I let it show. Live right if I wanna live. I'm calling for Christ, but I don't know if it's gotta do right before Christ appears. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. I cannot hear, it's right in your ear. Don't care about the flesh, I care about the spirit. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. Demons gon' come in, but please not fear. He gon' be in with fish, but you gotta smear. He gon' be in the way, but you gotta clear. I'm praying to God, I hope he hears. Put the word away, the truth, my spirit. The devil is real, but I do not fear. Oh man, when it come, but I gotta kill it. Since before, I gotta admit. We gotta live right, cause we're children.
We the children of the Most High. We look to the sky. Drift out in them holy garments. He gon' match my fly. New city rising up. When you shy, you crack the sky. On the Sabbath day, we be chillin'. We don't sell a buy. For this truth I'ma live. You know I ride or die. This is what it is. I ain't just passing by. For this truth I'ma live. I ain't gon' tell a lie. As grievous as it is, wipe them tears from your eye. Ain't nothing down here worth your whole soul fry. Make sure she real for your soul tie. I can't believe they made the good guy the bad guy. Only a higher in heaven, no right.
Pastor, live right if I wanna live. I'm calling for Christ, but I don't know if it's gotta do right before Christ appears. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. I cannot hear, it's right in your ear. Don't care about the flesh, I care about the spirit. We keep on talking, but they don't wanna hear. Demons gon' come in, but please not fear. He gon' be in with fish, but you gotta smear. He gon' be in the way, but you gotta clear. I'm praying to God, I hope he hears. Put the word away, the truth, my spirit. The devil is real, but I do not fear. Oh man, when it come, but I gotta kill it. I did it before, I gotta admit. We gotta live right, cause we're children.
Yeah. What is happening? This is Yeshua Judah. We'd like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. Ayo Ben Yahoo and Benat Shalahaya. How y'all doing? Good. With a T.
Good. Goodt. Good.
Is good. All praises. We are glad to be here. Again? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Good. All right. Yeah, we're glad to be here. We're glad that everybody else is here. We had a little bit of audio technical difficulties, but we got it straightened out. I guess Benat is ready to go on and get in. She done lived.
Oh no, just,
I guess she
done pull the graphic up.
Yeah, I guess she ready to get it in.
Just put it out there.
Right on. It looked good. I must say.
It was really my introduction to you guys.
Okay.
That's
praises. That looks real nice. It really does. I want to say thank you for that. I had a thought though when it was right before we came in, before we had the audio problems. I was listening to those those twins on that song. And as we was coming in, I thought to myself, all of us that know that we are Israel, don't you know that all of us, we riding on a high by coming into that knowledge, man. We like, it don't matter what doctrine that you own at this particular time, or who you listen to or who you don't listen to, how you keep the Shabbat, how you keep your feast days. None of that don't matter. The high that we are experienced just by coming into the knowledge that we are the seed of Jacob, that's an awesome feeling, man.
Awesome.
That within itself is an awesome feeling. So much to the point that you have children their age. It was what my wife and I was talking about. They look like they couldn't have been no older than 17, 18 years old.
Right. And they
out there ministering in that music like that, man. So
that's a blessing.
You know, all praises to the Most High just for us, the select. And we praying that we are also a part of the elect.
Yeah.
When all of this stuff here come crumbling down. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with the people, bro.
All
yeah,
praises, man.
Mm-hmm.
All praises.
Yes,
all
sir.
Praises for that.
But yeah, so Ayob, you had a good week, brother.
Man, I had a good week, man. The Most High is grand, family good. It's been a great week so far. Y'all willing tomorrow, and hey, we're looking forward to it. Y'all willing? We're looking forward to it. How y'all be? How y'all week been? How y'all day was?
Man, we had a beautiful week. We had like a little memorial, you know, the family. Exactly. The wife, you know, sibling over the weekend, and so you know. It's a sad thing, especially with us as Black people, that it takes debt to bring, you know, a group of family together. But, you know, we were all together, and I must say that we did have a good time with that. But other than that, man, the Most High has been blessing us. You know, my saying that He has treated us better than what we deserve. So, you know, I hardly ever have any complaints whatsoever. But not how you been? How's your week been?
Busy.
Busy.
Busy. You know, I always have a lot going on with work. I tell people my job really is babysit adult children all day.
Right.
So just, you know, a lot going on at work, and then of course come home and do my wifely and motherly duties. I don't care how old children are, they still need their parents. So you know, just trying to make it through the week. Ahaya says the same. I wake up on this side tomorrow. I'll be another year wiser. Another year wiser. So I'm thankful for that. But, yep. So, you know, just trying to keep this thing rolling.
Right.
As Shaka Boo said, keep this thing rolling.
Keep this thing rolling. Keep this thing
rolling. We ain't short of no gas. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. And with that being said, we're going to turn it over to Banasha Lahayo. She got announcements and what it is that she do. And let's get it.
Okay, well, I was hoping you weren't going to ask me any
I agree with that. You're pretty, you Shaka Boom, for sure. I tell every time I see a girl, you just so pretty.
I know that's right. Keep it young.
If we weren't married, I would think you wanted something at the end of the
I'm gonna be quiet.
See, I'm waving the towel.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Ooh, let's have church outside.
Let me try and get to my my timer here. I really don't have any announcements per. You know what? It's not liking us today.
Oh,
I apologize.
Well, me and that sound gonna have it out.
It went out again?
The sound went out again.
Y'all hold on 1 second.
I apologize.
Me and that time are gonna have it out. Shouts to everybody in the chat, though. Shalom, everybody. Sister Delta, Brew News. Peace. Blessings, everybody.
All right, you good?
Okay, I think I'm good now.
All right.
So We were given some tickets for the F3 family event.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
we have some tickets to give out. One of the first things we're going to do, or one of the first games we're going to play, is we're going to throw a Bible trivia up there. We'll put it up there for a minute, and the first person to get it right will win a ticket to the F3 event. So
All right.
it's just pay attention. At some point, it'll be up there.
Right.
It'll pop up. Leave it for a minute, and then it'll go away.
Yeah. So
keep that in
the
mind.
first person to answer, make sure we get your contact information. That way we will be able to make sure that you get your tickets to the F3 event.
Correct.
So it was over 1,000 last year. Ayo, do you know have any idea what they are expecting this year?
They're expecting over 1,000. Last year it was right at 1,000. I want to say between 850, 950 ish, right at 1,000. This year, I don't know if anybody has been able to go to Brew News' page, Sister Delta's page, or Monologue or F3's page, but Mono does have a short video of the site, of the field and the stadium where we'll be.
Okay.
And they're expecting over 1,000 this year. I don't know if it kind of gives me the sense of if you guys have been to any like radio station premieres where they have an events, it's got that type of feeling where they may have a dancing competition going on, then they got the stage where people performing, then they got the different tents and venues where there's different radio stations, different hospitals, different booths. It's got that type of feel.
So it's gonna be like a little taste of everything. People are not going to be confined to just one event. If you want to move around, you will be able to do it.
Right. And that it's got that feel. So if y'all, like I said, go check out Mono's page, F3's page, or Brew News page, and that's a short video where Mono is visiting the site where we're going to be this year. So they're expecting over 1,000, and it's going to be a lot of folk, vendors, artists performing. We'll be there. Different tents, VIP tents. So it's a spread out stadium and the stage. So it's going to be on, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting, man.
All praises. It sounds like it is. I know that they are doing a lot to make sure that this here pop off. So Israel, please show up. Please show up and make this here epic. I apologize if y'all hear barking going on. I can't control that. They doing their job. Yeah. Right. They are doing what they supposed to do.
Sometimes they are barking. Sometimes too well.
When they ain't barking, that's when we got an issue.
Exactly. Exactly. They doing their job. All right. So with that being said, are we ready to start the show or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We can move on. So first thing we're gonna go to is the talk amongst yourselves topics. These are things that were kind of hot in the news. We just didn't get a chance. They didn't make our hit list basically. So for those of you who are huge sports fans, more specifically football fans, I was happy to hear that Reggie Bush got his Heisman Trophy back.
Right.
Yep.
That almost made the hit list.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Is somebody knocking at the door?
I guess. Hold on.
The devil is busy tonight. What is going on?
Are you kidding me?
What?
It's the dog knocking at the door.
See, I heard y'all talk about me barking.
Yeah.
He is literally knocking at the door.
Wow.
It was his paw.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. So, last week you heard us mention about the bird flu. So apparently, WHO has now gotten involved about time, and they have sounded the alarm that the bird flu is threatening to jump to humans with a 52% fatality rate. So keep an eye out for
what?
52%
fatality rate.
Jeez,
bro, that's wait a minute, wait, time out. Wait, hold on. 52% fatality rate.
52% fatality rate. And I don't I don't necessarily know if it is something they just discovered. If because for me, to me, if you already have determined there's a 52% fatality rate, to me that means you've already done some studying.
Right. That's what.
Yeah.
Normally, when they do a first study, it's 20%, 15, but 52% straight off. And things get worse, then they get better. So if it's 52% right now, where you've just done the initial case study, that means within what they say 90 to 120 days, a whole quarter, 4 months. Wow.
Yep. So
it sounds like
keep an eye on that.
Y'all still talking about the same thing because I did walk. It sounds like to me they got an agenda.
Are you muted?
Yeah. No, he good.
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you heard me through her mic over there, but yeah, it sounds like to me that they got an agenda, man.
Yes.
What I was going to say before I left is that if there was ever a time that we need to start learning some natural remedies,
indeed,
and start learning how to eat right, because like the Apocrypha says, I think it's in Sirach, if I'm not mistaken, that the medicines is in the herbs. Right. Which meaning the foods, because they are doing everything that they can to try to get us up out of here, man.
Well, see, that's what Dr. Sebi was doing.
He was doing it too well.
That's the problem, right?
I mean, there's money in pharmaceuticals. There's money in medicine. There's money in hospitalizations. There's money in this stuff. Wow, man.
Yeah, wow. It ain't no money in a cure.
There you go.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Right.
Wow. 52.
That's a lot, man.
That's more than half.
That's more than half.
More than half.
And that's the kind of stuff that when they said you could darn near take it to the bank.
Right. Because they gonna make sure that go down.
Right.
That was a great segue. The bank. Speaking of banks, I don't know if anybody saw the interest rates they said are at an all-time high since, 2001, I believe. IO, this is probably more your territory than mine, but it did not do what they initially said it was going to do. The interest rates have gone higher. So y'all keep old man, 274-year-old Biden in office if you want to.
Boy, his days, boy. I seen something earlier where they talking about Bill Clinton is standing behind Joe Biden's replacement. Like
what?
It came in an email. They say it's Bill Clinton. He is behind, standing behind whoever they got. I guess a replacement is becoming more and more each day, a little more real. I guess that's what they're trying to say.
So,
now they're trying to say
the last time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying they're saying like, Bill Clinton is like, he needs to be replaced. He ain't gonna be able to even forget running for another 4 years. He may not make it to November. Is what they're saying.
Yep.
We could have told y'all that. Sense. We've been telling y'all
that. Truth be told.
We've been telling y'all that for a whole year and a half. Like, he ain't gonna make it in November. So
truth be told.
I seen that come across the ticker today that, former President Bill Clinton is standing behind replacement for Joe Biden.
Did they say who the replacement was?
No, they just said that. Well, like you said, like we just said, whenever they come with a 52% rate, that means they've already studied. So if they're saying this, that means behind the scenes, it's been chatter about it. But they've been saying this for a long time. Would it be Michelle Obama? Would it be now? In one of my topics tonight, I will mention we done forgot or really ain't with everything we've been distracted about as society as a world. Bruh, y'all realize we don't even know who the VP picks are yet.
No.
And it's
they ain't even mentioned them.
They ain't even mentioned them, and it's May. So it's May. Again,
who wants to run with Trump? Like, who can they find that even would to say that they would be willing to? Because the white-headed dude said he wouldn't. What's his name? The one that was his VP at first? Yeah. Said he wouldn't. But back to that replacement for Biden, they've been having talk about the Kennedy dude.
Right.
I don't know if you guys been paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that Kennedy, the Biden camp is a little afraid of him because they feel like that he is going to take votes away from him, and just by the mere fact of his name.
Right, and plus he's a moderate conservative. He's not a liberal. He's not a true right conservative. He's not a left liberal. He's kind of a moderate. He's kind of in between. Yeah. So he's got these ideals of, finance, smaller government, smaller military, but he also believes in a little liberal as let it spread out, not trickle down, and give a little bit to everybody. So it's kind of, and that's what scares the Biden camp.
He's anti-vax too.
Right. He's also anti-right. So he's kind of got this mixture. So yeah.
All right. So sounds like y'all pretty warmed up. I guess these did kind of make the hit list, just not on the timer. One last little talk amongst yourselves for basketball fans, women's basketball fans. Candace Parker retired after 16 seasons. One of the greatest to ever lace up sneakers, in my personal opinion. So if you have not already subscribed to the Mo Truth Talk channel, go over there and take a listen. He specifically talked about her retirement, since it hasn't been really given the public attention that I feel like it should have been given, considering what she's done for the game. Go listen to Mo Truth.
Yeah, you know who's been getting all the attention. Well,
we're not even gonna say her name over here. We don't even want her on the algorithm.
Yeah, Pasty. What'd you call her?
Pasty.
Boy, she's white as this screen. God. Anyway, but yeah, Candace Parker. Listen, sis, I give you flowers. 2-time champ, WNBA champ, 2-time MVP. Man, you're not celebrated enough, sis. I give you flowers, man. Great career at Tennessee under Pat Summitt, who was no longer with us. Pat Summitt is one of the greatest college coaches ever. 2 championships at Tennessee, 2-time WNBA champ, 2-time MVP. Again, sis, you're not celebrated enough. Like 16 years.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 WNBAs. Yeah, she everywhere. That's what I was gonna say. Everywhere she went, from high school, she got 2 in high school. She got 2 in college, and she got 3 in the WNBA,
and 2 MVP.
Plus all the accolades that on top of all of that.
And y'all be called Pasty to go.
Sounds to me like she's a winner. Winner.
Come on now.
All she does is win.
All the time.
And here come Pasty Strudel to go.
Ain't did nothing.
Ain't did nothing.
All right, fellas.
Okay. All right.
Let's move this train. Move this train along. All right. So I know you all know what these symbols mean, right? Typically, when you go out somewhere, if you see this, generally that is specified for men. This is specified for women. That's the man symbol. That's the female symbol. When I tell you I had a difficult time finding these symbols, this used to be a staple symbol. Like you knew.
You don't see them.
I tell you, it's so tainted now. Looking for these symbols, like. They rainbowed. They've got other stuff added to it. It was just insane. But the reason these are on the screen is because Tennessee lawmakers, Tennessee, have okayed the bill criminalizing adults who help minors receive gender-affirming care. While the Republican supermajority touted the proposed statutes as necessary to protect parental rights, critics warned about the possible broad application. Violations could range from talking to an adolescent about a website on where to find care to helping that young person travel to another state with looser restrictions on gender-affirming care services. The original bill included criminal penalties, but supporters agreed to civil penalties for violators. So it was quoted that this is a parents' rights bill, nothing more, nothing less. Republican Representative Brian Ritchie, the bill's sponsor, said during a House debate earlier this week. At the end of the day, parents should have a final say what medical procedures their children are receiving, and nobody else. Put a period right there. So considering all of the laws now being implemented in support of the LGBTQ plus ABCDEFG community, what challenges does this law face in being upheld moving forward? Sheer.
Well,
3 minutes.
I was just flabbergasted at the point that they even had to make a bill
Right.
parents to begin with. Because remember when I started my notes, the question I asked you, so without this bill, you telling me parents have no right to bring charges against an adult who helped their particular child in medical, that's the key word here, medical alterations to their gender. That's crazy to me. That's just for real mind-blowing to me. How is this not considered what is it called, trafficking or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me that an adult, a counselor at school, a teacher at school, could take my child and help my child transform from a male to a female, or from a female to a male, and face absolutely no repercussions whatsoever? That's crazy. And the alphabet bullies, they never cease to amaze me either. So you got the Human Rights Campaign that says that Tennessee enacted more anti-LGBTQ plus laws more than any other state since 2015, identifying more than 20 bills that advanced out of the legislators over the past few months. So in other words, what they're saying is that the voice of a queer kid or a gay kid should be louder and stronger than that of its parents. That's retarded to me. So they wanted to give more authority to the children. What did Isaiah say? That the time is going to come when a woman and a child shall encompass the man. You see what I'm saying? So you see that we are now living in that particular time. Look, I got some numbers here. It says recent studies in the U.S. shows that 82% of people who identify as transgender say that they consider killing themselves, and 40% of attempted suicide, with the highest numbers of suicide among trans youth.
T-1 minute.
By the numbers, gender reassignments, to me, by those numbers, it could be a fatal thing. An analogy that I want to use. Remember when the Messiah met with the young man that was vexed with the bad spirit?
Mm-hmm.
And all of the people, including his father, said, look, we can't control this kid. We don't put chains on him, we don't put fetters on him, but he keep breaking them. And when he breaks them, we find him cutting himself. That evil spirit that was vexing that boy's job was to destroy that boy. I can only imagine what a spirit is doing to a child that is making him believe that you are not what the Most High created you to be. It don't surprise me that the highest rate of suicide amongst teens are those who consider themselves transgender, or who have went up under the knife of transgenderism. We got names for everything else. I say this go back to the days of the Bible. Call it what it is. Call a demon a demon. These are demons that they're satisfying.
The demons are totally, wholeheartedly, 100% agree that
these are
demons that are doing this, and they're attacking the children. Like you said, the verse in Isaiah that talks about how the children and the woman will usurp Jacob or usurp the man. That's happening. Former Buffalo Bills wide receiver Cole Beasley, he stated that it's becoming more hard to raise children in a world that's so confusing. He said that on last Thursday on NFL draft night. You know why? Because the number one drafting the number one pick in the draft, Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC, got drafted to the Raiders. I want to say to the Bears. He had silver fingernails.
Yeah.
So this is where this is starting. The LGBTQ plus, they're getting a help from pro athletes targeting the children. You know, it's every young 7, 8, 9-year-old that plays football. He gonna watch the NFL draft.
That's right.
And now he sees that, along with a bill being passed that's gonna restrict or either non-restrict parents or adults. If I send my child to school and my child come home and says, hey, one of my best friends at school, his mama said that he could help me be a girl, or vice versa, he could help me be a boy. Man, I'd be livid. I'm going to that school tomorrow, because they don't have any say so in, like you said, Sheer, you said something profound. This is a health issue. What about the HIPAA laws, where nobody can be shared medical information? So I believe that Tennessee is they're in the Bible Belt. You know, you got Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas. They're all in that Bible Belt where these staunch Christians hold these seats.
T-minus
what's happening?
1 minute.
This is not the 80s, the Reagan administration era that I remember. We didn't have none of this stuff in the 80s and 90s, man. You heard about it in Hollywood, but in politics, this was not happening. This was not happening. And like you said, it's demonic entities targeting our children. And it ain't cool. It says to date, no state has placed restrictions on helping young people receive gender-affirming care. You see how gender-affirming care? You see how they make you comfortable with it for people that's in that community? We want to get gender-affirming care because we care about y'all. We want to give it to you. The LGBTQ plus, they're running all these companies, all these corporations. They're running these corporations. So of course they're going to pass laws and bills, and governors are going to sign bills because they want those corporations, multi-billion-dollar corporations, to come to the state and make money. It's all about politics, man, and it's keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Yamay said something that I wanted to hit on. Pull up that statement that Yamay got right there.
She has a couple. Which one?
That last one that I'm looking at. Yeah. She said they didn't play like that back then.
Right.
And if it was going on, this was the point. It was a secret. People don't understand. This was the whole point of secret societies.
Right.
This is why they had secret societies that date all the way back to the Roman Empire, because look, they always did stuff like this here. But when they was out in the public, the men was out in the public, guess what? They were men. Now what they doing with the secret society is all out in the public now. And it's all out amongst the people. I told y'all about my experience at the mall. I'd never forget it. Look, spirits all over the place, man. All over the place.
Man.
Alrighty. So obviously we're gonna see probably more of that, not less of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is gonna
stay prayed up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to guard your children if you've got young children.
Ayob said something profound too about the kids seeing, and that's all part of the agenda too.
Right.
I don't know if someone actually told the dude to paint his nails, but I can see somebody telling him to do it for that particular. You know how many eyes was on the NFL draft?
That's why I made sure I put that in my notes.
Right.
Because that's the foundation of it. That's what, look at the dude play for Duke basketball. He just got a sponsorship.
Exactly.
He just got a sponsorship.
Exactly. I can see these companies or these organizations going to these kids, asking them to do that simply because of the platform that they are on and the influence that they can have on the generation that's coming behind.
So real quick, so now they doing it. You don't think middle schoolers, high school, they doing that right now?
They're doing it. They absolutely are. That's right. I can tell you.
I'm gonna tell you right, boy. If I had a middle school child, that joker come home with some painted nails, I'm gonna put them in the trash can. I said it, and put the top on that joker.
Let's keep this train rolling.
Walk
away. All right. So this is what we finna get you some help. Black tax. The black tax.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we already know that so-called blacks in this country get treated differently in more ways than one. However, there is a thing called the black tax. For those of you who don't know what the black tax is, I don't know how you don't necessarily know the term. However, just to clarify, the black tax is basically where as a black person, you get charged more than, say, a white counterpart for the same thing or the same service. That being said, this is what I found interesting. Racism has cost Black Americans approximately $70 trillion since the start of slavery. Sean Rochester, author of The Black Tax, has quantified the cost of racism in the United States at 70 million since the start of slavery. He says the black tax is perpetuated by discrimination. Black people are hired less frequently. I can attest to that. Paid less and have less access to wealth building tools like affordable mortgages. He developed his PhD framework, purchase, hire, deposit, as a means to shrink the racial wealth gap. Rochester said economists have estimated anywhere from 24 to 97 trillion of labor was extracted from enslaved Africans from 1619 to 1865. For centuries, Black Americans have been left out of government programs designed to help citizens build wealth. In 1863, Black Americans were denied access to the Homestead Act, which promised 160 acres of land to citizens in exchange for a small fee and 5 years of cultivating the land. Over 70 years, 1.6 million, mostly white homesteaders claimed 270 million acres, about 10% of the U.S. land, valued now at 1.6 trillion. Black people face discrimination getting hired and face wage gap when they do get hired. A study found that white applicants are 50% more likely to get a call back for a job based on their name alone. I can attest to that. In terms of wages, Black employees with bachelor's degrees earn on average $50,000 compared to their white coworkers who earn $61,000. For an example, for Black Americans who are able to own homes, they still face discrimination on the path to building wealth. So this couple, Abina and Alex Horton, an interracial couple from Jacksonville, Florida, had their home appraised for $330,000, surprising the homeowners who live in a mostly white neighborhood where houses are valued between $350,000 to $550,000. When Abina, who is Black, took down all traces of Black art and photos from their home and left her white husband home alone for the second appraisal, their home appraised at $465,000. So, that being said, have you ever been black taxed? Even if you didn't know at the time that's what it was, what are the top three to say five things that you feel like Black people are black taxed on? Shit.
T-minus 3 minutes.
Yes, on you.
So 3 to 5, I got the housing, income, and property.
Yep.
So you think about what you just said. They appraise a home, trying to sell the home, appraise a home. Oh, there's, along with that story, there's stories of Black couples that got their home appraised at $225,000. Had it looked at again, people came by, put a white couple of their white neighbors in the home. Like you said, took all the Black art down.
Right.
The home is appraised at now 400 something. How does it go up? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me racism still exists? Tim Scott, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden? Ain't that what y'all said? Racism does not exist in America. That's a bunch of bovine excrement. Because they do.
What it is.
And it happened to us all the time. But here is one thing in that article. There was an article, The Black Tax, what we were reading, what we based this argument off of. And it was it's something that struck me. It just threw me for a loop. It said, now listen to this. Previous research has shown that their algorithm disproportionately targets Black taxpayers at the expense of targeting people who actually underreport their taxes. I said, wait a minute. There's an algorithm outside of social media. I said, these folks, that algorithm, that's code word for they own code. They got a
what they do.
System. It's a whole system built that's saying if a Black couple, if Ayoba Malka or Sharon Banoff coming to this side of town to get a loan to move over in the suburbs, $550,000.
Yep.
Interest rate 35.5%. Yep. Even though they got a 790 beacon score. But if Caitlin Clark and her husband come in, oh man, you'll get a 30-year loan of $2 million at 5%. That's what they did,
T-minus 40
redlining
seconds.
districts. So
Right.
yes, I believe in this. And in housing, income, and property tax, those are the top three where we are targeted.
T-minus 30
And
seconds.
it's just crazy. And I seen algorithm. I said, wait a minute, this ain't social media like algorithm. And then it struck me. Their own code.
T-minus
No matter
20
no
seconds.
matter what, if you are black dude, a white girl, or whatever, vice versa, or a black couple, anything black, they must attack.
10.
And it's
9,
sad. And I hate to
8,
make that rhyme
7,
like Jesse
6,
Jackson.
5,
But
Yeah.
that's
4,
it is what it is,
3,
y'all.
I
So we
thought
gotta
it
wake
cocky.
up. Right.
1,
Johnny Cocker.
0.
So yeah, y'all, we gotta wake up. The black tax exists. Housing, income, and property. It exists, man.
Yo.
It's crazy.
And the thing about housing, income, and property is that those are the three things that create wealth.
Yep.
And this is
What
why they
belongs
want
to
to
you.
keep
Right.
exactly.
Right.
This is
That's what
the
you
reason
agreed.
why they are so
Right.
adamant that we don't have a part
In
of
those
that.
areas. Right.
In those
right.
areas,
It
yeah.
strains it. It strains it.
Yeah, exactly.
T-minus 3 minutes.
The 3 to 5 things that people are black taxed on the most, insurance as well.
Yes.
Because insurance, according to your zip code, it determines what you're gonna be paying, you know.
Yes.
And I also learned, but not hit on it a little bit, that your zip code, not only your name, what zip code that you in, it also is a determining factor on if you're going to get a particular job or not, or in a certain position. We're black taxed on acceptance in schools as well, you know, just because, and we're black taxed in the political realm as well.
Yes.
But going back to the home and the property and the land, what Ayo was talking about, and the redlining districts, it baffles me that there's so many of us don't even know about redlining, have never heard of redlining, never thought to yourself, how is it that in every city and every state you go to, every side of where we are, it looks the exact same way, no matter if it's in the north, the south, or the east, or the west. I have this book. I cannot even think of the name of the book that I read, but that book brought out this point. It said that HOAs, homeowner associations, insurance companies, along with builders,
Yes.
along with builders, and it was another organization. Oh, the government, Fannie Mae, and all of them, along with the government, they all colluded together to make sure that Negroes do not be able to buy homes. Just think about that, man.
Crazy, man.
Just think about that. Did not Navy Federal Bank just not get in trouble here not long ago
T-minus 1 minute.
with the black lady? She called them out on it because she realized that, hey, I come in here to get a loan. I got everything that's needed to be able to get the loan. I make enough money. My credit is good. But then somebody come in here that don't look like me, don't make as much as I got, don't have the credit that I have, and they get the loan. You think Navy Federal came up with that on their own? No.
Right.
That's a process, just like Ayo was talking about. That's their code. So when we walk in, a lot of the times, this is what we don't understand. And this is why it bothers me when I hear Negroes, especially older Negroes, that say that we are afforded the same rights as everybody else if you work for it. I call bull crap on that.
8, 7,
I call bull crap on that, because when the game started, I'm already 100 yards back, which means I gotta run 100 yards to catch up to you. So by the time I catch up to you, I'm tired already.
They want
to. They done already gone another 100 more.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they got the nerve. Yeah, you gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Come on, one of them pull themselves up by the bootstrap. I can tell you that. There's a term in companies. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with cronyism. Cronyism is basically what happens when you hire somebody or promote somebody who hasn't done the work or the job or has the skill set to do the job, but because their dad, their grandfather, or somebody else
worked
it
the good old boy system.
It is essentially cronyism, because what you ensure is that the person that you've now moved into this position is going to continue to follow the same policies, procedures that you've been using for this company. So I wanted to throw this out there, and somebody can let me know either in the chat or on the show next week. Do you know what an alderman is?
Yeah, that's them people up north that's like on good times. Correct. I know they the political, for the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not every neighborhood has aldermen. You know who has aldermen?
Black neighborhoods.
The black neighborhoods. You know why they have aldermen?
They yes men on the cool.
You got it. Not only are they yes men, they go in and try and convince the black families that this thing, that this company or this business over here or the government is trying to implement is good for you. It's going to pay off in the long run.
They realize Steve Harvey's.
They're not just up north. That's what I always believe too. But so to bring it home more personal, anybody that's from the Dallas area, familiar with the Dallas area, what happened?
Price?
Well, what happened with Fair Park, the Fair Park area, that little section over there where it started to be gentrified, where it used to be deplorable conditions. They bought out so many homes and so many businesses that have been mom and pop shops that have been around there forever. They bought those things out pennies to the dollar and built up all of these condominiums. These people thought they were getting a huge check. Some of them folks got $10,000 for their home because they were told by the alderman that your house really isn't worth anything. So go ahead and take this $10,000, because if you don't take this $10,000 or you don't take this $20,000, they're just going to take it anyway. And you know, those people
that was John Wiley
those
Price.
People could have fought for more money, but because they didn't know any better, that's what they got. So the black tax definitely still exists.
Just like Alderman Fred Davis on Good Times.
Yeah.
He was the same way. Trying to convince Florida and them, hey, take what they're going to give you. Patting the stomach, take what they're going to give you. It's good for us.
Wilhelmina?
Yeah. Alderman Fred Davis.
My favorite family in YouTube, Wilhelmina.
They are called, what was John Wiley Price? He was called a city organizer. He was called
is it city organizer?
I think he was a councilman.
City councilman. So it's the same position, just a different name in a different area. Exactly.
Like Barack Obama, he was an alderman.
That's all he was.
That's all he was.
He was a great. The white people said he was a great organizer.
Great organizer. Organizer.
That's what they using these athletes for. Aldermen.
They pretty much aldermen. There you go. Come on, that's it.
All right. Moving on to our next little hot topic. So I had to talk about our young brother Elijah McClain again. So the paramedic one of the paramedics, the gentleman that's kind of grayed out back here, this is Mr. Jeremy Cooper. He was sentenced to probation for his role in the death of Mr. McClain. So Colorado judge sentenced paramedic Jeremy Cooper to probation and work release Friday, closing out the last of 3 trials around the 2019 death of Mr. McClain. Jeremy Cooper was sentenced to 14 months in a work release program and 4 years of probation after he was found guilty of criminal negligent homicide in December. Cooper faced up to 3 years in prison. Adams County District Judge Mark Warner stayed Cooper's sentence until June 7th, which he said will give Cooper time to make arrangements to continue his employment. Aurora police officer Randy Rodema was sentenced to 14 months in jail in January after being convicted of criminally negligent homicide and third-degree assault. And a fellow paramedic, Peter Chichenik, was sentenced to 5 years in prison in March for his role. So Cooper spoke in court before his sentencing after several others testified about his character on his behalf, about how he was a devoted husband, devoted firefighter, and a paramedic for more than 20 years. Here's what he had to say. What I would like to do now is just talk to Elijah. Elijah, I'm a man of faith. I know you are here among us, and I know you can hear me. I wish I wasn't standing here talking up to you, because that would mean that you are here. There's so much I want to say to you. First, I want you to know how sorry I am that I couldn't save you. I want you to know how sorry I am that I didn't get to hear your last words. I want you to know that I would give anything to have a different outcome, said Cooper. I'm sorry collectively that we all failed you. I couldn't bear to read the mom's statement that she gave to him. I mean, heart wrenching. If you think about everything that he just said about Elijah, Elijah can't hear you.
Right.
There's nothing that you're going to say that is going to bring Elijah back.
Yeah.
So him choosing to address Elijah just blew me away. So my question to you guys is, what's more surprising? The judge's decision for Cooper's sentence, his sentence, or Cooper's choice to address Elijah in court? What say you?
I'll go
This
ahead.
one is-
Y'all don't mind if I jump in first on this one, do you?
T-minus
Go
3
ahead,
minutes.
yeah.
Man, reading this, boy, be anger and sin not. Boy, I almost sin reading this, boy. It was tough to read, like you said, but not. Neither surprised me. I figured with Peter Kishniak that was sentenced to 5 years in prison. I said, okay. And remember, last year we said, okay, keep an eye on this. They're gonna make an example out of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that Peter, the other paramedic, he was 5 years, which he should have got more. They all should have got 25 to life, but he got 5 years of prison, and then they let Jeremy Cooper off 4 years probation, 14 months work release, 100 hours of community service, and oh yeah, we're gonna make sure you get the transition into another, look for employment. The audacity of this dude to want to stand up and
T-minus
address
2 minutes.
Elijah, not Elijah's mom and his family, and just say, look, nothing could bring him back. I know you don't want to hear me right now. I should have done more that night. And I stand before you today living with the fact that I have to live with myself every day knowing I should have done more. As a parent, I might would have received that. But for you to talk in front of his mama, from what I read, she had to walk out. She walked out as he got up and started reading.
Yep.
But she basically said, how dare you get up here and say that? He ain't here. You have the audacity to get up and address Elijah with your religion. I'm a man of faith, and I just want to talk to you, Elijah. And this is what I talk about, this on code stuff that they when they do this, they get in front of these judges and
T-minus
get
1 minute.
all this time shaved off. Shoot, we still got brothers coming out of jail that was wrongly incarcerated for 35, 40 something years.
T-minus 50
And you done
seconds.
took somebody's life. His mom said you stood there as a drug dealer waiting on a drug sale.
Mm-hmm.
With your hands on your hips,
T-minus
you
40
did nothing
seconds.
as my son was dying. I cannot imagine as a parent, less a mother that birthed
T-minus
that man,
30
young man.
seconds.
That man was walking home minding his business.
Happy young man.
Happy dude. He wasn't bothering
Happy
nobody.
young man.
And left up out of here.
T-minus
And
20
you got the
seconds.
nerve to stand up in the court and address him and said he's there. Bruh, it took me a couple times to kind of get through
9,
that. But
8,
yeah, to answer the
7,
question,
6.
I'm not surprised at
5,
neither. I'm not
4,
surprised at the judge's
3,
decision
2,
or his decision
1,
to stand up and address
0.
Elijah in front of the court. Not surprised at neither. They both, man, look, horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That don't surprise me at all. I immediately thought of Deuteronomy 32,
T-minus 3
29, and
minutes.
30. I know I'm gonna run over on my time on this too.
Go ahead,
But it says that that they were wise and that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. Talking about us, Israel. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 a flight, except the rock had sold them and the Most High had shut them up? Look, people, judgment. This is what allowed all of us to come into the realization that we're Israel when we start paying attention to how we are treated in this system, how we go about in this system. It don't surprise me not at all. Not only did this guy receive probation, Adam County District Judge Mark Warner, like Bernard said, stated to June 7th to make sure that he can make arrangements to continue his employment. When have you ever heard of this ever in any, you know what I'm saying, in any sentencing whatsoever, right? But this is a prime example of white privilege. If you have never seen it, I don't have enough time to read everything, but I do want to read this, but not read what Jeremy Cooper said. I also have in here what Elijah's mother said, and I want you to listen to this. She said, Jeremy Cooper did what he thought was best. He did nothing. Jeremy Cooper did not check for my son's pulse. Jeremy Cooper did not conduct a thorough examination to see if my son was breathing normally. Jeremy Cooper did not interact with my son or ask my son how he was doing under the weight of a monster. Jeremy Cooper was there for more than several minutes before my son took his last words. Jeremy Cooper heard my son talking and was there for my son's last words. But Jeremy Cooper just stood there like a drug dealer waiting for his sale. Said Shannon McClain, nothing Jeremy Cooper can say can bring my son or remove my son's blood from his hands.
40 seconds.
That sound like Jeremy Cooper is a murderer to me. Collectively, with everybody who have went to court with the death of McClain, collectively, you still don't have 25 years. They murdered that boy. All of them did.
20 seconds.
And you can't tell me this whole show is based on the premises of Deuteronomy 28. Why is it? Because we fell from our power. Our power ain't sold us. We sold our power, to be honest with you.
3, 2.
So we can cry all we want. We can ask for justice all we want. But it comes down to the bottom line is we better turn back to our power. What do Corinthians say? If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways. Those are actions, man. Humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven.
Another action here.
Another action.
Another action, right.
This is so sad as a parent. I'm telling you, as a parent.
That was tough. That article was tough. Yeah, I was, as a father, I got angry. I was an angry boy.
Yes.
I was so mad, man.
I've never known fear of losing until I became a father.
Yeah.
I've always heard that no pain compares to the pain of losing a child.
Man.
And that's a pain that I never want to experience. Like when my kids leave.
Right. I was just about to say.
I worry until they come home.
He left that morning, told his mom he left, and then you get a phone call and he died like that.
Come on, man. I'm no more good. I'm telling you.
You gonna stand in court.
Right.
Talking about he here? Well,
right. Right. And it's like you said, what you said was so profound. You didn't even have the balls to look his mama in the eye and be like, look, I apologize.
Right. You address I want to address Elijah.
A
man who can't accept
a man that watch you allow him die.
That is you want again diabolical. Something wrong with them. Something ain't right. Like for real, they soul ain't together, yo.
It's called caucasity. They have.
I'm telling you,
the caucasity. The caucasity,
bro.
That's in my vocabulary right now. I'm finna write it down. How you spell it?
Called C-A-U Cassidy.
But man, bro, it took me a few times to stop, go back and read, and stop and go back. I was flabbergasted, bro. I just again. You address the mother, and even if she don't receive it, you supposed to be okay with that.
Right. That goes to show you how unmanly they are.
There you go. That's
That goes to show how much of a coward they are.
Yeah.
That's
not
why.
a man, but a male.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah. Exactly.
You're not a man, but you're a male, but not a man.
Yep.
That's a difference.
That came at a good time for a music break because my radiator hot right now.
Cool off.
Well, we got some more banging topics when we come back. But right now, we're about to hit this first music break.
Yeah.
Big country to Hebrew.
I had to call my boy Judah for this one. Let's break him off some proper. Let's go. I'm never broken. Life battle leaving scars. But the victory heals wounds, man. I'm never broken. I won't stay on the ground. I rise up like a typhoon. I'm never broken. I push through pain. My past is like 100 tombs, man. I'm never broken. I'm never broken. Man, I'm never broken. I stay true, never fake. This is who I am now. I walk around with 100 rounds. No matter where, I always hold my ground. I fight tooth and nail, man. I never back down. My life is like a movie. I never do retake. I gotta keep it moving, nothing to regret or remake. I'ma keep spitting truth, no need to redo. I'm coming from that nappy root. I'm from that dirty grit, I bear fruit. I'm not from that tribe that was raised by them dudes. Made by the Father, and the word is the truth. I'm never broken. Life battle leaving scars. But the victory heals wounds, man. I'm never broken. I won't stay on the ground. I rise up like a typhoon. I'm never broken. I push through pain. My past is like 100 tombs, man. I'm never broken. I'm never broken. Man, I'm never broken. I come from a place where the struggle's to prove. I carry these scars like a tattoo. I'm reminded of a life of a Hebrew. My mind's like a battlefield, but I keep fighting through. I won't fade away, I stay true. That's my clue. I don't wanna be rude. I grab these heathens with an attitude. Life cuts like a knife, but I never lose. I wear my scar like an armor, nobody can bruise. I got the rage of 1,000 slaves. 1,000 slaves in 1,000 graves. I'm never broken. Life battle leaving scars. But the victory heals wounds, man. I'm never broken. I won't stay on the ground. I rise up like a typhoon. I'm never broken. I push through pain. My past is like 100 tombs, man. I'm never broken. I'm never broken.
Hold up. I'm from the tribe of Yehuda, I'm chosen. I can't be broken, I ain't soft spoken. I cannot fake it until I make it. I'm not forsaken, I've been awakened. I am not folding, I am upholding. Yehu was lost statutes and commandments. Even if your heaters can't overstand it. I'm strapped up, I'm a Tampa Bay bandit, damn it. It's an abomination if you're participating with Satan. I don't debate with any of you haters. I throw up deuces, I see you later. I praise the Alpha and the Omega. He's the almighty creator. Elohim is my savior. We the salt of the earth with flavor. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor. Judah Matthias always stay prayed up. Always on point like a guard. Setting picks, then I'ma shoot a layup.
I'm never broken. Sheesh. Life battle leaving scars. But the victory heals wounds, man. I'm never broken. I won't stay on the ground. I rise up like a typhoon. I'm never broken. I push through pain. My past is like 100 tombs, man. I'm never broken. I'm never broken. Man, I'm never broken.
Boy, Big
Yeah.
Country got some heat, don't it?
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
I like Big Country.
Man,
I might be getting an overdose of Big Country because I just found out about Big Country.
Listen,
Which mean
we got to get him on the show. I talked to him a while back. Get him and Judah Mathias on the show. So we got to get them on the show. They're not talked about in Yasharal as far as the music scene enough, man. They got.
There's so many of our artists.
Yeah. Them on the show.
Yeah.
I
Well, we gonna make Truth Be Told, R&B Hook. We gonna make this sure the place to stop for our Hebrew artists, man, that's putting in that work. Yo, we gonna make this the place to stop.
Just be aware when Big Country on, he real. So if you don't support, he might call you by name. I'm just letting you know. It's like that.
Yeah.
You one of them.
Get your popcorn and get your
He like Cat Williams. See,
he gonna tell. And you know what I'm gonna say when he do? Phone lines are open. Come on in, everybody.
Come on. Yeah. I told you so.
All right, keep this train rolling. So you see who's on the screen, who we done brought to the stage. Y'all's favorite 296-year-old president, Mr. Joe Biden. So Mr. Joe Biden was in the news twice in the same week for the same story. The first story was he put the narrative out there that he had been arrested when he was a young man for standing up for a black family that had moved into an all-white neighborhood. Right? So I sent the story to Sheer, because we share stories throughout the course of the week, so that we can figure out, the topics we want to talk about. Well, by the time Sheer got to the story, he said, baby, this ain't no story here. This is missing. The whole article gone. I said, what you mean it's gone? I read it. What do you mean? I know it was an article. So we go back to it. It was gone.
Take it down.
So I had to do some research. Well, my research uncovered that this was a fact check on a fake story because what Mr. Biden had said was, I didn't really mean to say I had gotten arrested. I meant to say that I was pulled over. No matter what research you did, what search engine you used, you could not find any evidence of him being pulled over, him ever being stopped, him ever being sent to jail for helping this so-called black family. So he later came back to clarify and basically said, I was stopped, but it also wasn't here in the US. It was stay with me, y'all. It was in South Africa.
Wow.
Yeah. He said
so
down there.
One of the questions I threw out there, one of the questions that I had asked you guys, I'm actually asking in a second, but what I probably should have asked you guys was, y'all think he just forgot that was somebody else's story and he thought it was him?
No.
Okay. So the real question I'm going to ask is, do y'all feel like this is I need the black vote story?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go to the next story. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Don't even have to cover that.
All right. So what do you guys really think is happening with this story or this narrative he threw out there? Cher, I think this on you.
Biden. This is not the first time Biden did this, man. This is the same dude that also said that he marched with tens of thousands of others with changing attitudes in the civil rights movement. This same dude. People went to go look to find out when he went and marched in civil rights time. Guess what? It's never been proven. Why? Because he never was there. Biden is that dude for real who will say whatever he needs to say to get to wherever it is that he's trying to go to, and he done already figured out that I can say what I want to say to this particular group of people, and they gonna take it. They gonna bite it. This the same dude that told us what was the last presidential run. hey, you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Yeah.
And guess what we went out there and did?
T minus 2
We went and
minutes.
voted for him. We went and got him in the office. This is proof for two things to me. The first is, like I was just saying, that we will believe anything that come out of a politician's mouth. And the second is that a politician will say anything that they feel that they need to say to get the Negroes vote. This is why they have aldermen in the neighborhood to go and convince them that, hey, vote for me. And it made me think when you was explaining what the alderman was, and we got to talking about it, how much do the aldermen know that he be feeding his people bull crap when he come up in there? Exactly. They know. Exactly, man. Look, Biden has never had the struggle. He'll tell you that he came up in the struggle. Just listen to him talk.
Yep.
He'll tell you that he came up in the struggle. He never had the struggle. And like I say, he is a habitual liar. When he ran back in the 1980s, he was found plagiarism.
Yep.
A whole daggum
T minus
speech
50 seconds.
to get into the office. This was back in the 80s when he ran. Think about that. This is 2024. He was running for the presidency in the 80s, y'all.
In the 80s.
This dude should be in Smithsonian Institute, not in the Oval Office. That's why he be lying like this, because for real, he don't forget what generation he in. He don't know. He didn't know he was in South Africa. He thought he was in South Washington somewhere, man. He didn't know. He didn't know. He had absolutely no idea, man. And then you got to think about South Africa. What is in South Africa?
10,
Who controls
9,
South Africa?
8, 7,
That's where the apartheid is at. Am I correct?
3,
Yup.
2, 1.
So that make me say to myself, what was you doing there, Biden, to begin with, right?
Right.
You wasn't there helping nobody, man.
Hello. All right.
Well, let me tell y'all something.
Ben Ayo.
Oh, Joe Biden. Listen here. He got a new
Minus 3
nickname.
minutes.
He is now going to be remembered as Joe Liden. Why you lying, Joe?
I like that.
Why you lying?
Joe Liden.
The caucasity of Joe Liden, who just had his 417th birthday on yesterday. But anywho, I digress. That's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later on. 419 years old.
Off of dust.
Dust. D-U-S-S, dust. But anyway, he's got a, like y'all both said, he's got a history of this. But guess what? It don't really matter. Because your name gonna go from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, Joe Liden to Tommy in November, because you ain't gonna have no job.
You get no job, dog.
You got no job, man.
Man, look here.
So anyway, he has a history, like you both shared. He has a history. It says Biden has made a series of claims about his personal past in the last 2 weeks. They include the false claim that he used to drive an 18-wheeler and the false claim that he's never earned $400,000 in a year. Both lies. You ain't never drove no 18-wheeler, bro. You made more than $400,000 probably darn near all your life. And while running for president in 2020, Biden claimed he was arrested as a U.S. senator as he tried to visit South African anti-apartheid icon Nelson Mandela while Nelson Mandela was in prison. Bro, you ain't. After media outlets found no evidence of such an arrest, Biden then told CNN that he had been stopped in South Africa, but didn't mean to say arrested.
You did. You meant to say arrested.
Right, you meant to say it, Tommy. Yeah, you did. Tommy, you meant to say it. And the caucasity of
T-minus 1 minute.
Truthfully, and I know I got a minute, but this is going to take real quick. I truly believe, again, we talk about how before America has always been able to, political-wise, sports-wise, covering up-wise, they've always been able to finagle and snake and cover up their way out of things. But I truly believe that there is a true panic button being hit behind the scenes.
T-minus 30 seconds.
And with that being said, this is, to answer your question and to say all that, to answer your question, yes, this is a political stunt for votes in an election year
T-minus 20
because the panic
seconds.
button is being hit. Because again, before they've lured us asleep, got us to the voting booths. But I
10,
believe this
9,
year they know
8,
something is
7,
off and the
6,
black vote
5,
won't be got. So
4,
beware.
3,
They might just
2,
offer everybody a
1,
reparations check to show up
0.
on the building day. And I'm serious. I'm not playing. I'm for real. I'm for real.
So I have a question. I
September,
do have
October.
a question. Ayob and Benat. How one of y'all tell me how old is Biden? One of y'all, it don't matter. How
Between 294 and 417.
Okay.
Nobody really knows.
So that's his age. And Yo mentioned that we haven't even heard about the vice presidents,
No
right?
VPs yet.
Well, in reality, we haven't heard of replacements either for the Democratic side or the Republican side, because we see what Trump is going through. We see that Biden might not make it past the summer, right? We might be having an estate, what they call it when they have them laid up in front of the people for in that casket with the flag on it.
Sitting in
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
State.
So if they ain't got no replacements, they have not talked about the VPs. Do you think that the presidency will be listed on Indeed when all this sure?
Bro, for real. Bro, for real. Like I'm
just asking.
Y'all, I'm for real. Like I really think, and his real age, y'all, is 81 years. He's 81 years old.
Times 81, 294, 417.
Right,
It's all
times 3, times 4, divided by 12. But I truly think, y'all, I mean, this is unprecedented. Like you said, they're talking about replacing Biden. They're talking about replacing Trump because he's in all this legal trouble. And right now, it just, for Trump, it just doesn't look good. It just it looks like it doesn't look good at all, because it looks like they're going to find one of these is going to stick.
Yeah.
And I truly feel like whether it's some kind of special election, this will be the year to do it. 2024 will be the year to do it. Some kind of special election, some two celebrities running against each other. Could you imagine a
whole reality show?
George Clooney and Kanye running against Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, and I don't know, Selma Hayek. It would be a circus, which it already
Khloe
is,
Kardashian.
Right. So, and again, to say, hey, black folk, we love you. You only showed up at this morning, or 12 to 5. If you show up, hey, everybody get their reparations. You don't that, listen. Yeah. I'm telling what these folks are doing, saying pull off at this point. I'm being like, I know it's funny, but don't be surprised.
You sound like Dap when you said that on in school days when he was out there talking fried chicken. You know all the Negroes gonna show up. You tell them to get fried chicken.
Something. They gonna put. Listen, don't be surprised, y'all. And I'm for real. Don't be surprised.
Indeed,
it may not be reparations, but just come time September, October, they look at them polls and see how many blacks are not gonna show up.
Something.
All right. So on to the next one. So this is this next story is I don't even really have any high notes for it or anything. It was just a young lady somehow decided that something she heard from somewhere, don't know where she got it from, that black people wear the mark of Cain. I wanted to play the TikTok clip, but I don't know if it's going to allow.
I think I got it. Hold on. I don't have it, but they can hear it. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, that TikTok clip is.
People wear the mark of Cain. That's the Bible.
No, it is not. Show me where in the Bible it says that black people wear the mark of Cain. Show me that.
Lots of racist stuff.
Are you racist? Really, give me one example. Where does the Bible say that African Americans are the children of Cain? Where does the Bible say that?
The Bible talks about the mark of Cain, and you can interpret the Bible any way you can.
We have a real.
Did y'all hear that?
I heard it. I can hear.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right
pretty
then.
sure.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So, where do you think this narrative, or where did this narrative stem from, that Black people wear the mark of Cain?
You want to go ahead up?
T minus
Yeah,
3
I go
minutes.
real quick, man. Black people wear the mark of Cain. Where does the narrative stem from? It stems from devils that wear the mark of Cain. That's where it come from. Yeah, it come from devils that actually wear the mark of Cain. Look, coming into this truth, and our eyes was coming open to the fact that all of Genesis was in Africa, lied to us in plain sight, right? I began to ponder to myself after reading Genesis 4:14 through 15, and behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I should be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it should come to pass that everyone in finding me should slay me. And the Most High said to him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Most High set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And I said to myself, I said, what could that mark could have been?
Minus 2 minutes.
It only made sense to me that after understanding that if all the Earth's population was melanated, that the mark was pasty skin. That's the only thing that made sense to me. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is, but y'all tell me, would it make more sense that white folks are wearing the mark of Cain than us being melanated?
Hello.
I'm just saying, okay?
Drop a bomb on that.
The origin of that teaching, though, I believe it came from the Church of Latter-day Saints, Jesus Christ, and Mormons. That's where the origin of that came from. And they also teach that we wear the curse of Ham as well. It's in the Mormon book about our noses and our lips. But what I promise you is this, is that Cain was melanated before.
T minus 1 minute.
He was melanated during, and he was melanated after he killed his brother. So whatever that mark was, I'm telling you, white people wear that mark more than we wear that mark. How many times have you heard me say in this house that them people don't even belong here? Think of everything about nature. When you see a white lion, that joker do not make it. Why? Because he's unmelanated. You see white hippos, white alligators, they ostracized. The sun brings life to everything that is in the earth that the Most High created. White people go in the sun, they get skin cancer. Look, I can go on and on about this thing. Black people wear the mark of Cain. No, we the salt of the earth. You better go read what the Messiah said about us. Hey, when he come back, he gonna shock the hell out of all of them. You know why? He gonna have a big old nappy fro. He gonna have red eyes. He gonna have black skin, and they gonna be like, oh, well, they couldn't be burned the mark of Cain because the Messiah. Why ain't nobody ever told us that he was black? We've been trying to tell you. Putin been trying to tell you.
Be exposed. That's all.
Eyes will be exposed.
Hundo, you are absolutely right. Leprosy.
White skin.
Leopard people is running the world.
Come on. The
caucasity of this heifer.
Oh man,
Tell us
I
how
love
you
it.
really feel, Sheer.
Oh, I love it. Listen, yeah, when I seen that TikTok,
T minus 3 minutes.
it was, you want to talk about cringe worthy. You know how you get embarrassed with somebody, you want to go and crawl up on the rock. Like, again, I'm gonna keep saying it. They've been able to finagle their way out of a lot of stuff until this year. Now they kind of just get this, what we call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person's hold two contradictory beliefs at the same time. Now, what that young lady did, if y'all could go find the video, go look at her face. Y'all should see her face. She was looking off to the side and just trying to stand a leg, and the dude was like, the older guy was like, bruh, you can't show me in the Bible where it says
Can't
that.
show it to me.
And she knows
T-minus 2
that it
minutes.
says the exact opposite. See, she's seen the Putin tapes. They say you can tell a lot about a video if you just turn the volume down and just let the video play. If you looked at Putin's video that surfaced a month or so ago, just turn the volume down. They talking about, oh, it didn't interpret right. What? Just turn it. Don't, you ain't got to hear him talk. Just turn the volume down and let the video play. See, that's what's happening all around the world. So what they got to do, they got to reverse it. They know within the very fabric of their soul and DNA, they know what the mark of Cain is. They know what it is. Like you, like me, it makes sense. Okay, if the Garden of Eden was in so-called Africa or Ethiopia before it became Africa from Scipio Africanus, which that's another topic for another show.
Right.
But before it became that, they were all melanated. So how would people know that the Most High has marked this man and said nobody better not touch him or kill him? He a vagabond, a nomad. How would they know? How would they know to say,
T-minus 50 seconds.
You had to be marked by God, or you had to be marked by the Most High? How did you get marked like that? It had to be, not like she said, I ain't saying it.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Think about it. Just think about it. So they have to remove themselves from this stuff, y'all. Again, she had to totally 360 reverse it. What she knows her soul grabs to, she knows deep inside the mark of Cain has got to be white skin. It's got to be leprosy.
T-minus 20
It only
seconds.
makes sense that it is. So she'll say the exact opposite to try to get people to believe it. But now, more so
10,
than any time
9,
other, people just
8,
not believing that
7,
stuff no more, y'all.
6,
you can't just say nothing.
5,
You can Google it.
4,
You can Google
3,
stuff now.
2, 1.
Again,
0.
like the guy said, you have no foundation on where that is in the Bible, and she knows she didn't. She only know what she wants to continue to believe, and it's starting to wane. It's starting to dissipate. All praise for that.
I'm curious to how that conversation came up.
Man, right.
Yeah.
What was the start of that
video?
What
was the start?
Right, like,
what was the start of that video?
Like,
right.
Oh boy.
It was more of it. I don't know if you had the rest of it. I actually cut it off because he actually started going in. He started going in, exactly. But it's crazy that it's so many for real. Do you not know that there's a lot of religions that branched off from the Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ and from Mormons, which means that if that's the foundation of their teachings, those religions that branch from them, that's the foundation of their teaching as well. And one of them being the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Look, I was in that Seventh-day Adventist Church for years before I realized that the Seventh-day, so they had split it up with what was it called? The general conferences in conferences. So you had a black side and a white side. You dig what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I was in that church for years before I started realizing I had to start moving up in the church, right? In different parts and ranks in the church, and stuff started coming clear to me. And this is way before the Most High started waking me up to who I was. I used to come home from meetings and tell my wife, baby, this church ran by white folks. These black pastors can't do nothing unless these white folks can't do nothing unless these white folks tell them what to do. You understand what I'm saying? And I started understanding how the tides in that church was moving. They using the, guess what pastors are in the Adventist church? Aldermans. That's what they are.
Yep.
Go out there and get that money and bring it back to the white man.
Right. And convince the people to come in. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly.
That's all you gotta do. Wow. Yep. Power of the
501s. Exactly. Yep.
That's it, man.
Yes,
yeah. Wow.
Oh, all right. So moving on. So this next topic, in this image, this is from a video provided by the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. I'm gonna destroy this man's name. It's Chindu Okabe, I believe. You see him lying on the ground. He's there in Millbrae, California on October 3rd, 2018, during a police encounter where officers used a stun gun, chemical spray, baton strikes, and prone restraint in sequence of rapid escalation. San Mateo County deputies told the district attorney they were reacting to what they perceived as Okabe's superhuman strength. Deputy Stephen Mills of Lee County Sheriff's Office was on patrol one night in 2013 when he received a call about a naked black man walking down a rural road in Phoenix City, Alabama. Mills said the man ignored his calls to stop, but when the officer threatened to use his taser, 24-year-old Kari Illich walked toward him and said, tase me. In a sworn statement, the deputy said he shocked Illich twice because he'd been unable to physically restrain the muscular man with superhuman strength. How dangerous is this ideology in 2024, and do you think it has gotten worse over the last decade?
Go ahead, yo.
I think it's well.
T-minus
even
3
though
minutes.
well, our bodies will be changed, and they know that. So I truly think it's the Wolies are just scared to death. I think they're just afraid. So, but you gotta think about it. It's dangerous because it gives them a reason to put lead in us and unalive us. It gives, because they're already scared. So if they go and got these stories of so-called black men having to be tackled by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cops and still hard to put cuffs on, and then they tasing them and pepper spraying them and it still doesn't work, they become more scared. Because again, what we hear from the media is what we hear, but then behind closed doors, through the circles of the police departments across America,
T-minus 2
this is
minutes.
what they talk about. This is what they talk to each other on the phone, having casual beer and conversation and dinner. This is what they text each other, that they're scared to use deadly force. But you got to understand now, to give a little history, where this stemmed from is Stan Lee. If y'all know, Stan Lee was the creator of Spider-Man and X-Men and all the comic books, the Avengers and all that. Now, apparently, I do remember seeing Storm with dark skin and an afro, a white afro, when I was little. Luke Cage, I remember him. He was black. Black Adam was black. The movie that The Rock just played a couple years back, Black Adam, he was afro, strong, muscular, with a cape and could fly, had superpowers. If you think about Hancock, look at the story of Hancock, how he was a Malak. He came to this earth. Think about Genesis 6, the men of renown. See, these accounts in the word, they know who we are, and they know what fabric and DNA we're built from. And they know there's a code in our DNA that will activate when our bodies are changed and we're caught up.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Rodney King is etched in our mind. I mean, they did something to him crazy, and he would not go down. So whether it's adrenaline pumping at the moment, excitement. Look at Eric Garner. He's no longer with us, but it took 4 or 5 to get. He 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds.
T-minus 20
he would
seconds.
not go down. So again, I think it's dangerous due to the fact that they're already scared. But it is
10,
reality.
9,
it
8,
is reality.
7,
our bodies are different.
6,
I used to,
5,
my coach,
4,
he used to tell
3,
me, you brothers
2,
don't have to lift
1,
as much as the white dudes. Some of my other teammates would tell you. He used to say that. I was like, what is he talking about? He said, your bodies are different. And we just are. That's just how it is. But that in itself, that's what scares them. So yes, to answer your question, I believe it's dangerous in that right. It gives them a true valid reason to take us out of here. Hope I put that as eloquent as this.
Yeah,
I could.
You definitely shined a different light on it than how I actually looked at it. We know Marvel was based off of us. The X-Men are for real based off of us, for real.
Yes.
But how dangerous is the ideology?
T-minus
Do
3 minutes.
you think that it has gotten worse over the last decade? And as I was thinking about that, I just started thinking to myself, I was like, well, let's ask the family of James Byrd Jr. How dangerous this ideology is. That's the guy who got drugged to death in Jasper, Texas. We can ask the family of Tyree Nichols how dangerous this ideology is. We can ask Latasha Harlins, the young lady of 14 years old who got killed at the store by the Asian lady, how dangerous this ideology is. And you can, I can name many, many more people. And we know how it is, right? Elijah McClain's mother, right now, we just got through talking about her, how dangerous it is. But to answer that question, do I think that it has gotten worse within the last decade? Honestly, I don't believe that it has gotten worse. I believe that it has become more highlighted. Trees in the South have always been decorated with the corpse of our people.
Yeah.
Always. They have famous lakes that we've talked about on this show that cover entire towns of people, of our people that once thrived there. So the brutality that we get from the hands of police, that's a normal behavior. As I said, Ayo put a new light on it than what I thought about. We do know, and they know subconsciously, that we are created different than them, right? Sure. We are. Sure. But when they say that, they don't say that with the stem of, they got superhuman strength. Right. They say that with the stem of, that gives us the green light to beat them the way that we do, or to shoot them, or to use lethal force against them, because like Ayob said, they already know that we are created different. Look, I always revert back to Revelation where it says that the serpent was walked with the seed of the woman. We always got to revert back to that. These are gems that are in the word to let us know who we are. We got to revert back to Job when it says that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. We got to revert back to stuff like that to let us know. This is why I told somebody the other day, the hyena will never, ever, ever trust a lion. A lion will never, ever, ever trust a hyena. A lion would kill a hyena and leave that joker carcass in the middle of the jungle. Why? To let it be known that I killed him. The point that I'm making is that Christianity, along with politics, along with public schooling, have made us believe that we don't have an enemy out there. And that enemy bears the mark of Cain. So Yep. Is it dangerous ideology? Of course it is. Yes. And they can always use it. I was in fear of my life. But when we do it to them, we get time. Badge taken, pistol taken. You don't even get administrative leave. You fired, you off the force, you in court, and you going to jail.
Right. That's it. Listen, before we move on, I know Revelation 12:5. Yes, you said the dragon was wroth with the woman. Why? Because 5 says, and she brought forth a what? A man child.
That's right.
They already know. The dragon was like, listen, as a child, he a man with knowledge, wealth, wisdom, body type. He different. We gotta get them.
Right.
He built different. See, they know that.
Right.
So if you fast forward or rewind, I should say, back to when Rodney King took his beating. Fast forward, because that was recorded. That was one of the first recordings that we saw of a black man being beat and the police officers getting off because they said that he was uncontrollable. They couldn't handle him because he had, superhuman strength. They couldn't understand why he wouldn't go down. And then fast forward to our young brother that sparked the whole "Don't wear your hoodie" with what's the guy's name?
Trayvon.
Not Trey. Yeah, Trayvon Martin, but the guy who killed him.
Oh,
George Zimmerman.
Mexican dude.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
What did George Zimmerman say? He had superhuman strength. Like I couldn't do anything. I had to defend myself. And Sheer and I watched a video that it just made my stomach turn, where this guy is interviewing George Zimmerman and talking about what a mild, meek mannered guy that he really is. And he's a very small stature. He was only 5'5", and he didn't weigh that much. At the end of the day, he was still a young man. Trayvon Martin was still a young man. And I think about our son, that we had an incident when we first moved to this neighborhood, where the police came to our door for something that they thought was us, and it really wasn't us. It was somebody else in the neighborhood. But when my son stepped outside, my middle son, huge kid, he was 15 at the time. Was he 15? 15 at the time. And he stepped outside, and when they asked him his age, they thought he was lying because he's so big. So I always had this fear of him being mistaken for somebody older than what he really is. My point, though, is the reason I feel like it has gotten worse over the last 10 years is because of that statement that you guys just used. The statement that you made about I fear for my life. Yeah. That has become
the motto.
The calling card. It's their moniker now.
Right.
Anytime they use that, I mean, they didn't really need a moniker before. They could do it anyway. But the moniker that they use now is I feared for my life. Yep. And if you think about, and this is kind of getting off topic a little bit, but if you think about the black police officer who had a woman running at him in the middle of the night, and he gave her all those commands to stop, and she never stopped. Yep. And he said he feared for his life. Where is he now?
He in jail.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So the same rules don't apply. But I thought that was.
I think that was in Minnesota.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting though that they like to use that term superhuman strength, but they don't like to view us as human, right? So at any rate. We have.
I'm not human. I'm a man. I ain't seen that word human in the Bible.
Right. All right. So we have our Beyond Critical Race Theory, and our last topic is a doozy. So we're gonna hit this next music break, and then we're gonna come back with those last two items. Stick with us, y'all.
Let's get it.
Boy. It's Mr. Nice with a K. I keep my sword close, always ready to slice and watch these demons lay. Pen game like shooting hoops in the yard. Boy, people show me love like hearts in the deck of cards. Don't need a deal, I'm independent like Solo. Pockets making bread and yours holding no dough. Mr. Nice hotter than Coco. These rappers must be deaf cause their lyrics are so-so. Like Jermaine Dupri, they some brats that got no bite just to bow wow. I got a West Side connection, so you better bow down. I be spitting and never chew tobacco. I am digging big holes for you rappers without a backhoe. I got this game shook, baby, like a rattle. I'm coming with the light, I ain't seeing none of you shadows. I don't want your girl, but she wanna ride like a saddle. I ain't got no worries, cause everything gon' be fine. The books say turn the other cheek, but don't make me show my behind. Pause, like a period, but I'm never late. On time like the seasons, but this heat won't break. Like a huddle, all I know is up like space shuttles. This flow is hot grease, it'll make a rapper's face bubble. And I ain't talking suds in the tub. Yeah, I keep my body clean, but it can get dirty just like your rug. Feel the burn, it's like alcohol up on the wound. I've been eating with my hands and never had a silver spoon. But you see me in the day and night like the sun or moon. That's why my grind tough, you couldn't rip it with lion teeth. I let the Bible talk, don't have to let the iron speak. Mr. Nice, stay fresher than the dryer sheet. Everything I touch, I leave my mark just like a dog through trees. I'm a master, but you can keep the P. I ain't R. Kelly, but I can switch the style up and sing. Who wanna step in this ring and get rocked? I'm just like these rappers' albums, I won't ever get dropped. Thou shalt not kill, but I be murdering beats. I need to repent from gluttony, eating rappers, no Uber Eats. I bring it to your front door, call me Amazon. This delivery special, I go the distance like marathons. Might catch me chilling in your state, and I ain't catch a flight. They calling you to go, I see your animal sacrifice. Boy, it's the return of a bar spitter. Y'all can weigh 1,000 pounds, but I'm still bigger. These rappers thinking that they got a hard flow, but when they hit the stage, nobody's screaming bravo. To me, this rap is a sport. You either flow or stutter. I'm like Kane in the booth. I would lyrically kill a brother. Bronze, gold, silver, I am platinum. Gotta go through the pressure if you wanna be a diamond. Been grinding like driving a stick for the first time. They asking for the hook, but you got it. It's attached to these lines. Boy. All praises to the most high power for watching over me every day and every hour.
Say, man.
That boy, lyricist.
That boy was working out with bars. That's why I say it's like he was, yeah.
Said I don't get my. Wow.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving. It's getting late in the evening. Appreciate y'all, folks. Man, shout out to Facebook. 17 shares so far. So whoever
all
shares,
praises.
Yeah, all praises, man. Appreciate the Facebook Live audience, everybody in the audience tonight, YouTube. But we got the Beyond Critical Race Theory. Now, this is a little different. Now, I know how we feel about I guess inoculations or the jab. I get it. I know how we feel about it. But this story, or this account, just kind of, I never knew this. Never heard of this young man. So I wanted to bring it out. It's very short, but I ain't even see where he had a last name. His name is Onesimus. It said, did you know that a black enslaved man was responsible for introducing inoculations or jabs to America? Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. Didn't know that, but that's a picture of him. Appreciate it enough. Onesimus. He was an enslaved African who introduced the concept of inoculation to America and helped save hundreds of Bostonians from smallpox in 1721. But his role has hardly been told. Again, that's why I wanted to do this, because I said, let me bring this to light, because I've never heard of this. It began in 1716 when asked by his owner, prominent Puritan minister Cotton Mather, about a scar on his forearm. Onesimus described the basics of smallpox inoculation, a practice that was common Africa and Asia, but relatively unknown in the American colonies. Onesimus explained that when the pus from an infected individual's pustules is inserted into the broken skin of an uninfected person, the person suffers a mild reaction but becomes immune to future infection. A brother was doing this. In the words of Onesimus, as transcribed by Mather some years later, people take juice of the smallpox and cut his skin and put in a drop. Mather shared the enslaved African's suggestion with physician Zabdiel Boylston, who went in to attempt the procedure on his son and on other patients. Inoculation saved hundreds of lives, and the two men have gone down in history as the life-saving duo who took inoculation to the American colonies. The procedure eventually led to Edward Jenner's discovery of the jabs, the V word, which has spared millions of lives from disease. Onesimus, however, was all but erased from this story of medical triumph. You see, they gave the story to the two white guys. They gave the admissions, or they gave it the invention to the two white guys. It says, let's appreciate the millions of lives saved and still being saved through this discovery. Onesimus invented or found the inoculations of the smallpox in 1721. And of course, as always, they took it and ran with it and nixed him out of the story, and they got credit for it. What y'all think about that? I've never heard of that. Never heard of him.
It was interesting. You said, I believe you said anyway, that this was a practice that they was already, that our people was already using at the motherland.
That's what it says. It says in African Asia, it was a widely known practice. So they was
a
already
widely known practice.
A widely known practice that they was already doing before we got kidnapped and brought here. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's amazing because it's not so much the inoculations that I have a problem with or ever really had a problem with, because when you look at history, and now you just done gave me something on a whole nother total level.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at history, inoculation started out with a good purpose, as everything else, and then the people that bears the mark of Cain, they turn it around and they make it, you know, something other than right. Exactly. The caucasity of these people. Right? But what they did was the way the Most High created our bodies to work to begin with. What's his name? I can't pronounce his name. How you say?
Onesimus.
Onesimus.
What he did, what he gave for smallpox, and what was widely being used where we were from amongst our people before we were kidnapped, is how the Most High created our bodies to function to begin with, which is it boosts your immune system.
There you go.
Once your body once your white blood cells recognize the foreign virus or whatever it is that's within, it will build an immune system that will protect you from that particular thing, not for 6 weeks, not for 6 months, not for a year, but forever.
Right.
Forever.
Right. Forever.
You won't have to worry about it no more.
Right.
So they took something that was meant for good. Don't you know that back in my day, I'm old enough to remember that we used to for real used to have chicken pot parties.
Mm.
The world, if a kid in the neighborhood got chicken pox, then we finna go over there. Exactly. Why? Because once you get it, you ain't got to worry about it no more.
Yep.
You gotta worry about it no more.
And generally, if you got it like that, you didn't get it as bad.
You see what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. And so now these jokers sure not using look, smallpox, from all pretense and purposes, but not, that's something that, you know, people got. I don't know how they got it, but man, you know, this stuff that they got now, DVOC 19, it's man-made and the cure is man-made. Why would I want to deal with any of it? You dig what I'm saying? And one of the things I used to say, but not to tell you, I used to tell people, y'all running around here scared of getting sick. Don't you know that getting sick will boost your immune system? Exactly. Right. You trying to keep your body from building a defense against what you were scared of.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he told the white guys that, and they was probably like, man, what you talking about? So when he did it to probably some of the Africans that he showed them some of the people he had did it to, and they was like, oh, okay. So then the guy did it to his son. A couple days later, he was better. So they took it and marketed it. Oh, we'll say it is. And you're right, Hundo. That was the name of the slave that Paul had spoke about in Colossians. Onesimus. That's right.
Wow. Bring it out, Hundo.
Crazy. It's crazy. I tell people all the time, our lives are parallel, man.
Yeah.
It's parallel with the ancestors, bro. Like the people of the book, there is no coincidence that we're connected. Like,
come on. They're my peoples. Man, I can't tell you, I felt like superhuman strength, man, when I first started realizing that. I said, all this time I've been reading about David, that's my kinfolk. Right. Say, bro, I'm still walking around with this mentality. You understand what I'm saying? Look, man, hey, I ain't finna go there. It's getting late in the evening, like Job said, man. Bro, best thing, then you tell a Negro you Israel, they tell you now I'm a Christian. Man, you gonna take your old house slave mentality on somewhere.
Don't even come around me.
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Moving right along. I feel like I'm gonna have to put y'all on a timer. Shaka Boom, I might need your help over there to put a hat or something on Io.
Yeah. We're going to the trap house next week.
Yeah, I ain't even put no notes in for this one.
These brothers about to go in. Yeah. So we had Mr. Oh goodness, I lost his name. Mr. Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Chandler, who's what is he, MMA fighter?
Yeah.
He was found or he did an interview, and during the interview he made some statements, made a statement, if you will, that got the attention of quite a few people. We can thank our middle child for bringing this one to us. He actually brought this to our attention. But basically, he and his wife decided that they were going to adopt. Don't know what her case is, what her situation is, but they decided to adopt. Look who they adopted. So when asked the question about how he felt about raising Black children, his response essentially was, I'm not raising Black men, I'm raising men. To the point where he's saying he's raising them to be of, sound character, that they're upstanding men, that they can function in society. Basically, he said a lot of nice words, a lot of pretty things to wrap up how he felt, and his thought process behind why he believes he's not raising Black men, he's raising men. So my only question to you guys is, if you had an opportunity to sit with him and talk to him, what would you want to say to him? I don't know which one of y'all want to go first.
I don't even know if this could be a go first or what, or just a straight out discussion, man. Because I'm sure, this is one of those things that all three of us could probably get into conversation and feed off of each other, because white people already live in a bubble. Do you guys agree or disagree on that?
Because they have caucasity.
They live in a bubble. And so when he said that, I firmly believe that he meant what he said.
Absolutely.
I firmly believe, for the mere fact that he adopted Black children, right? And so he's not looking at, for real, that's one of them times where say, I don't see color. That's one of those times. And that's dangerous. That's just as dangerous as the ideology of superhuman strength, right? And I'm going to ask y'all a question. Imagine a dog, a mother dog trying to raise a cat. Imagine that.
That's insane.
Right. How's that cat going to know how to chase a mouse? I saw a cat this morning chasing a bird for food. You see what I'm saying? Just a natural. So you saying that I'm not raising, man, you know how dangerous that is?
Yeah. What? I got a question to ask him. I sit down and talk to him. I say, Paul, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What you gonna tell them boys when they get pulled over by a policeman? What's gonna be that conversation? What's gonna be that conversation when the principal is having you and the mama come down to the school because they're getting bullied because of their skin color? And look at both their skin color. They ain't my complexion. There were no light-skinned kids to adopt. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is the stuff that just blows my mind. It's wild to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's no. The fact that you even brought up their skin color, it's easier to adopt Black children that are that dark complected. Marcus and Sheer and our oldest middle son were having this conversation, not to kin them to dogs, but here's the truth of the matter. Do you know that Black dogs are the last ones to get adopted from dog shelters?
Yes.
They generally get euthanized at more rapid rates because nobody wants a Black dog. By the same token, Black children, especially dark complected Black children, are easier to adopt. Yeah. So white people who cannot have children of their own typically will go through the process of adopting, and when they come to them and say, hey, if you're willing to take this Black child, we can get the paperwork. I worked at an adoption agency for a little bit when I was in college. If you take this, if you're okay with a Black child, we can get this paperwork done pretty quickly.
That makes you wonder too, how much convincing of themselves do they have to go through before they convince themselves enough to adopt a Black kid? You see what I'm saying?
It's not as deep. It's not as deep as you would think.
And you would think it's deep.
Some of them come in there and it's immediate. Oh yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah, see, that's just crazy to me because again, each conversation throughout, if they go to church, Sunday school, church service, church plays for their little holidays, school, elementary, middle school, recreational activities, being a teenager, growing up, like the conversations are different.
I'm riding with D-Elect 12. If we stop giving our kids away, they wouldn't have a reason to get them. But that don't make this right. It's not right whatsoever. And I had this conversation with a guy yesterday at work. I stopped believing a long time ago, way before the truth. Way before the truth. I stopped believing that we as people are all the same. I stopped believing it. I just look at nature. Don't you know how much nature can teach you, man? Nature can teach you a lot. You got a Rottweiler and you got a Chihuahua. I don't care how much that Chihuahua think it's a Rottweiler. It ain't no Rottweiler, but they both dogs.
We got one.
It'll find out the first time they try to do something Rottweilerish.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the same thing it is with people. We are not the same. And so you got people, look, I am a firm believer. That's one thing that the Ku Klux Klan say that I agree with, that all people need to be with their own people. All people need to be with their own people, man. It's dangerous enough. And it's like Hondo said. He said they teaching them to be white men. Whether they know that that's what they doing or not, that's exactly what they doing.
The world will remind them every chance it gets.
And they gonna get reminded. So the first time, so this is the question I propose to both of you guys. The first time the world remind them two black boys that they are black, how is this white man and this white woman going to respond to it?
Boy, that's going to be tough.
Think about the little cartoon I told you that I saw not too long ago. It was a little comic cartoon that showed a little white boy telling his mom, you don't ever see the mom, but you just see the little white boy yelling, "Hey mom, I'm leaving, I'm going out, going to the park or something." And you see the little call out cue that says, "Don't forget your jacket." Then you see a little black boy tell his mom the same thing, and she says, "Don't forget your jacket," and then gives a litany of things that he should or should not do. Remember, don't put your hoodie on your head. Keep your hands where people can see them. Don't do anything suspicious. Don't do this. Don't do that. Make sure you do this, because she knows when her child goes out there, cartoon or no, when her child goes out there in the real world, in society, people are going to be more afraid of him. They're going to question him. Think about when you guys walk by a vehicle with a white woman in it. What's one of the first things they do?
Yep, you hear the doors locked.
They lock that door.
Lock the door. That's right.
They lock the door. So there's just so many things that I think these boys are going to not have the right tools and the right resources that they need to live life effectively. There's nothing wrong with, I agree with Shaka Boom. There's nothing wrong with teaching them to be upstanding men. I understand the values that he's trying to teach them. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
He's a white guy. He didn't have to think about some of those other things. It'll never cross his mind. So the first time his son comes home and tells him, you know, he got his license, he comes home and tells him, the cops followed me from such and such to such and such place, or I got followed around in the store. It's going to be one or two things. Either one, you're overthinking it. There's no way that happened. Or two, they're going to have their caucasity and call whoever they need to call to tell him, this is my kid.
Right.
Oh, okay. We're sorry. We didn't realize that was your child. We apologize.
Might make it worse. It might make it worse.
That's what I was thinking, yo. They're going to make it.
Because he's a celebrity. That's why I took that stance. Because he's celebrity, depending on where they live, if they know, oh, these are so-and-so's boys, okay, yeah, they all right. We didn't realize so-and-so was your dad. That's where I took that stance from. Outside of the neighborhood, outside of their comfort zone, it don't matter who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like my wife mentioned before we go, she made the comment. Let me click on it. I watched the old series. I haven't watched the new one yet, but the new series, Them. Says the literal reason why a lot of our children turn out crazy is because the blurred lines when they're raised by other nations. Looks like Them tackles that, and this was a great topic for tonight because, man, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Madonna, them kids that were little, they're now 19,
Adults.
20. They're adults.
Yeah.
These little young men, these are males. It's going to be men one day. They're going to be 19, 20.
They're not going to know how to function. I see it firsthand. Within my family, I'm just going to put it at that. I have a family member that is so confused that this brother cringes sometimes when I come around because my Negro-ness it intimidates.
It's too much for him.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's crazy, man. I love the dude to death, but I tell the dude, you confused. And a lot of that, but get this, a lot of this has to do with how his own mama raised him, which is
how he was raised.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get too much in it, you know what I'm saying? But it still go back to how he was raised, man. And so just think, man, when you are so confused that you can't identify with
this side or
that side because you don't want to offend this parent or don't want to offend this parent, but then you got these kids who are adopted who don't even know, so you can infiltrate their mind with anything,
and it'll be all they know,
and it's gonna be all that they know. Now you take them and they go off to college,
they're gonna get that real world. Oh yeah. Man,
we know a young man right now who, for all intents and purposes, his mom is white. It is suspected, because he doesn't know who his dad is, it's suspected that his dad is black.
That Negro dad is black.
We've been saying for years that he's black. Now, here's the thing.
That boy dad is black.
The kid was a phenomenal athlete. Everybody in the area knows him. Wonderful disposition, beautiful personality. Kid knows all kinds of stuff. His dad raised him to be an upstanding guy, right? Knows how to do all kinds of stuff, has been working on his farm since he was probably 5 years old. Great kid. I mean, I have to throw that out there.
Love to death. That's my dude.
If he showed up at our house today, he more than welcome to come in. We wouldn't even have to be home, and he could get the key and come in, and we would have no issue. He is that great of a guy, right? He just recently, he's no longer playing sports, but like I said, he's a hometown hero, if you will. He just recently started discovering that outside of his sport, he's not that guy anymore. He works at a
Tractor
kind of
Supply.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw it too much out there, but he works at Tractor Supply.
Redact.
He knows every single thing you could possibly think of about Tractor Supply. He knows all of the equipment in there. He knows all of the supplies. He knows about the animals. He knows about the food. He knows everything there is to know about Tractor Supply. When people come in to ask for certain things or come in, looking around, he'll immediately go to them. Great customer service. Hey, how are you doing? Can I help you with anything today? No, I'm fine. As soon as they find a white salesperson in the store, they start asking all the questions that they want to ask. They start asking about stuff. Sometimes the salesperson has to come ask him because he knows, but the white person didn't want to deal with him. What he's starting to realize is he's never dealt with that racism part.
Yeah. My son been telling them since
for years.
Our son been telling them this, you know what I'm saying, since they've been kids. Hey, excuse my language if it offends y'all. My son been telling them, use a nigga. You're gonna get reminded. Use a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
They've been best friends since like the third
Pop
grade.
Warner. They've been best friends since Pop Warner, man.
I was raised black in a black neighborhood, black church, all that, black men, and I thought everything was the same. Color didn't matter. Till I got my first job.
That's right.
Yep.
When I got my first job, after about 3-4 months, I was like, wait a minute.
I'm black.
Say.
I was like, and it was hard for me to deal with. So I couldn't imagine these two young men and other black that come up like, man, that's tough, yo. Like I pray for those young men. I pray that it works out.
That's all we can do. And I'm gonna tell you, the Most High, that's the kind of stuff that go back to was it D-Elect that said it, we stopped giving our kids away. Most High is not pleased with it at all. It don't matter how well they raise them kids. The Most High is not pleased with that at all, man. These other nations are not supposed to be dealing. I can't even listen to another nation talk the Bible. I see another nation talk the Bible, I turn the page, man. Why? I don't need. I don't need you. You know, look, man.
You didn't have years of teaching that we was the people. You ain't telling us that, so I don't want to hear nothing you got to say.
I don't want. Yeah, it's nothing. Exactly. And even if that's what you teach, you go tell another Gentile. Right. Exactly. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear it. Yeah, that's for me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been a great show. I'm glad for everybody that was up in here. Hundo, Alatunde, Shalom, brother. I have not forgot about you. I know I'm supposed to be getting back with you, man. I'm gonna get at you real soon. Been busy. I saw Shaniam Kowal up in the house too at one time.
Sister Delton Bruce was in the building earlier.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. Like I said, man, on Facebook we had 17 shares.
Right. All praises, man. All praises. So all of y'all that were on Facebook, and if you still there, go over to the YouTube page and subscribe to the show. And if y'all watching it, relationship, how relationship work, give a little, take a little. Y'all here and y'all watch this show, y'all watch 5 minutes of this show. The only thing that we asking for y'all is 10%. No, I'm just lying.
Look here. You gotta pay your time. You don't get the I get everybody out there.
Right.
That's what we're going to play.
Nah, but what I'm asking for though is hit that like button though. That's what I'm asking for. Hit that like button.
You better do some people. Twice out.
Right. Shalom. What we got an outro, babe?
We got an outro.
Yeah. This
so next week we'll see you guys later.
All praise to the Most High. Hebrew biz. All praise. Let's spoil my crew.
Whatsoever you do it heartily for the Lord, not just for me or for you. Break life, truth, wicked men, slew. Going hard out here for the Lord and split spoil my crew. 12 tribes, root, gag, chew. For the Lord had driven out from you great nations and rulers. Chose, peculiar, don't forsake or be consumed. If you a fraud out here, get a tool, then let me show you how to maneuver. On a crash course, last resort, had to settle for torment, destruction coming for Esau. Booty, baby sacrifice Molech. With up the lake of fire, had a toe check. The land of Canaan where I yearn to post that. Some men count slack, but I ain't slack. Concern his black Manasseh, Simeon, and Benjamin. If the wicked turn from his wickedness, y'all probably winked at our ignorance. No fairy tales, these Jezebels out here looking for repentance. Who can understand these dark sentences? Hold up, wait. 12 tribes out lineages. Whatsoever you do it heartily for the Lord, not just for me or for you. Better life, true, wicked men, slew. Going hard out here for the Lord, I'ma still spoil my crew. Whatsoever you do it heartily for the Lord, not just for me or for you. Better life, true, wicked men, slew. Going hard out here for the Lord, I'ma still spoil my crew.
Trusting him, Father, I ain't gonna trick, cause I know he gon' do what he do. Something like Joshua in the march in the city, he tell us to move, we gon' move. Soldier for Abba, spirit is on us whenever we step in the room. This sword is my weapon, yeah, better be demon gon' flee when this toolie go boom. No, we never lacking, got the shield of faith on if they come attacking. It's that living water if you wanna tap in. Yeah, we killing serpents and we cutting dragons. Hate them Nicolaitans, what a passion. When you see me, ain't no interaction. Christ coming back with a sword in his vest, will be covered in red like the Thriller jacket. So judgment and fear for the ops. He said the meek will inherit the earth, so why would I care about a block? Crack at it when it come to this word, cause yeah, we gon' cherish the rock. Time of the harvest, he bout to sip out the wheat and the taste from the crops. Let's get it.
Whatsoever you do it heartily for the Lord, not just for me or for you. Better life, true, wicked men, slew. Going hard out here for the Lord, I'ma still spoil my crew. Whatsoever you do it heartily for the Lord, not just for me or for you. Better life, true, wicked men, slew. Going hard out here for the Lord, I'ma still spoil my crew.
cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright at heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Huh? Yo, shalom, family. You good?
Man, nah, I ain't good, Yurt.
What's the word, bro? Talk to me.
Yurt, man, I been having these dreams, bro. And they got me shook for real. You know I just copped a new SRT truck a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, man, that mud nice, too.
I know, bro. But every night since I copped it, I'm dreaming of flat tires, head-on collisions, oil changes. Shoot, that mud might get towed tonight for all I know.
Con, that's deep, Ock. You had it checked out?
Man, no, bro. It's a brand new whip, 2024.
Con, I don't know, bro. Maybe the Most High trying to connect with you spiritually.
What you mean, Yurt?
Spiritual maintenance, my boy. Slide to the shop. You probably need a tune-up.
Would you still go to your job if Amazon sent you a...
We didn't want that.